will not get to play that again.
And they've already banned Evelynn. However, there's only one ban left for Curse. So if they ban the third jungler of those top 4, then Solomid can just first pick the last one. So I don't expect another jungle ban here from Curse.
And it will be a support Morgana coming in. Gleeb's been taking up a bit of Thresh. TSM's going to wait on their pick and figure out what to do here. We saw Voyboy playing a pretty good Yasuo yesterday. The rest of the team, Cop tried to bring out Misfortune again, so they were going back to a few of the roots they remembered. Both teams, as we said, coming off of a loss, so a win here is really in the cards for both teams.
Soraka has slipped through as far as strong solo lanes in the current meta. You know, even with all the changes to heal, she's still extremely strong in the current meta, providing a lot of tankiness for all the other lanes. You can bring a lot more damage from your other lanes if you are running that Soraka, because she turns everybody into a semi-tank.
Quite interesting. The Kazakhs pickup coming in right after. So we'll see Bjergsen trying to save somebody from a quick assassination. We saw Inox take Kazakhs into the top lane yesterday, but I don't know if it's what they're really going to be able to do.
So with Kazakhs being taken, that's 1, 2, 3. Elise is the last of the really common junglers. All right, immediately locked in there from Amazing. Because they picked that so early, though, you know, they could have saved their jungle pick till later. They're really trying to hide their solo picks as long as possible here, or try and hide their bottom lanes. They're locking in both solo lanes here, I guess. Soraka could be a support, but way more common as a solo nowadays.
Really putting a lot onto Gleeb and onto Turtle. Cop shows it back as well. A little bit of the fun hover over. For what TSM has been doing lately, they can kind of just sit back and wait for these picks to come out, knowing Cop could be the weak link in the bottom lane with Xpecial, as they may not have the synergy yet. Wildturtle and Gleeb wait to get those picks. We also heard that Gleeb did most of the talking in Champion Select, which becomes an odd thing because Xpecial was one that wanted to be vocal, and that's where a problem set in.
Yeah, it's interesting because since Gleeb's already doing this for TSM, you know, coming in fresh and sort of being the most vocal, Xpecial has also said that he wants to move into that role. Like you said, he actually is going to be the one on TSM. So not only are these guys matching up in the bottom lane, but also they're matching their shot calling against each other. However, on Curse, they do already have Dominate, who's a strong early game voice. Makes a lot of calls early game, and Voyboy as well. So there's plenty of backup.
I always enjoyed that comment of what the Curse team said. It's like, he just seems so sure about his calls, so we go in. And I think that's a good combination now with Xpecial, who's going to have kind of the moderated calls. So you got the pressure, and then you have the ability to stay safe. Looking at the picks to come in, Wildturtle hovers on the Twitch. Getting a good amount of play time lately, and there's good rights to it.
Yeah, with both Lucian and Twitch up, I expect those to always be the AD carries that people will lock in. And so Lucian's been taken. Next choice is Twitch. That will give them strong team fighting here. They already have Soraka, which means you have a strong team fight already. Then you add in Twitch. As long as he's able to have good positioning, some sort of peel, then this is a very, very strong team fight from TSM. It looks like they're definitely going to be grouping here, especially with the Zyra fights around Dragon and around these jungle pathways, where Zyra not only does her ultimate cover most of the available space, but also through the pathways in the jungle, the roots, the grasping roots, can tangle up multiple people as well. So Zyra really shines in those areas, and TSM will be looking to pick those fights. They also can rely on Elise and Twitch for picking up people between the movements, as people move between your objectives. So they do have a pretty solid team here for TSM.
And something that was first picked, first banned, now being hovered over in the 10th position of selection. We'll see if that actually goes over to a Syndra for Voyboy with the ability to LeBlanc. Voyboy really took to his mobility boost LeBlanc and played it more than one time. Never really came out on top with that situational build, but we'll have to see what he has with the Syndra here as he looks to lock it in. A Yasuo again is what he did play pretty strong on yesterday, so it looks like he's going to do that again. They know to look at him. Yasuo, or Voyboy, is trying to carry this game, and he puts that word out there right now.
Yeah, the only displacement they do have on their team, though, comes from Thresh. So it's going to be Voyboy plus Xpecial having to coordinate to pull off those moves. Otherwise, Voyboy is going to have to charge up his own knockups towards the late game here. But they do have a strong duo of AD melee assassins here that can dive together. Him and Dominate both going in at the same time can annihilate a Twitch. That's what they're looking for. Whenever you're going up against Twitch, you either want to take him out early or be able to kite your entire team away from the Rat-a-tat. So we'll have to see if Zyra is enough to protect this Twitch, because Voyboy and Dominate are definitely going to be looking to kill him at the very beginning of all the team fights.
Well, at least they have a good protection we were talking about. As the team's loaded to the game, let's see who you think will win. According to LOLesports.com, TSM leads Curse with 85% of the vote right now coming into this game.
And you can also share your predictions throughout the game by hitting us up at LOL Esports and use that hashtag TSMWin or CRSWin to vote.
TSM never losing that fan chant. They've had it for quite some time here in North America, and even with the switch up of players, about 40% European, they're still able to keep it.
There have been a lot of switch ups. I mean, actually yesterday we had a Korean top laner versus a Chinese top laner in the North American LCS.
Yep.
We're diversifying very quickly.
And the plays have been quite well. At first, TSM seemed to kind of be all over the place. There were still engages, but it seemed like there wasn't as much communication as TSM has had in previous games. Usually it was a stellar defense. They wouldn't be the first ones to drop a turret, and then they would be the ones to push through, maybe mess up at a dragon, but they would never definitively lose ground. It would kind of be like an oops, all right, we'll fix that.
And communication is becoming pretty much the most important thing for these teams now, because it's all about preparing your plans of what objectives you're going to trade ahead of time. Teams cannot afford to play reactively anymore. You just can't do that. We saw it at All-Stars. Any Western team trying to play reactively was getting destroyed because the Asian teams always had a plan that was in effect, and it was everyone trying to react to it. Reckless is quoted, he's like, all I want to do was farm one single wave. And he didn't have time to do it because there was already a plan from his opponents. They were pressuring 2 points at once. And you just can't handle that. You can't catch back up anymore. You have to have these pre-planned objectives, 5-10 minutes even in the future.
Yep, they set things in motion. Going for buffs, we would see they were there 10 seconds early to set up a big defense. Things to make sure they had a 100% win on that objective take. Smiley's coming out of cop. He goes with Lucian today. Did try to bring out the MF yesterday. We'll see how this goes for him. His Curse sets up for a bit of a power play here.
All right, so they're going with that late. This is actually a pretty early invade as far as the current trinkets are concerned. Most teams waiting till around 140 or so. But Curse are going to get down their wards and then just leave. They'll have vision up until the 2-minute mark, though. You can also switch out wards. Let's see if anybody decides to switch over to any other trinkets after the early invades. You always got to watch out for that. If you want to have a safer invade, by the way, you can start one person with like a blue trinket and get vision of the bush so you don't have to face check it either, and then they can switch theirs out after the invade's complete. Looks like they want to stick around this time, though. They set up a pretty good perimeter of vision, and they'll be trading away blue buffs here.
Definitely going to be a game where Curse would want to focus on blue buff more than not. Bjergsen going to need that on the Soraka.
Now, Soraka, all right, Dyrus going to come over and check this. He'll be pretty safe, though. They don't see him. All knowledge gain for TSM. They should be able to switch and just trade buffs fairly effectively here, so nobody's getting behind. But meanwhile, that Soraka you just mentioned, yes, Bjergsen has taken heal again. This is 4.7, so it doesn't remove the grievous wounds anymore. But it's still a very good choice for her because movement speed that it gives benefits her so much. She does need to be able to run away. Not just the heal is going to be important for her, but also the utility of that spell. A little bit more well-rounded of a summoner spell than Barrier, so much more common.
Curse on course with this team to try and lock down an early game and not let Bjergsen get to any point where he can be that menace, delivering HP and armor. Amazing now meeting up with Dyrus as he burns out all the way from the bottom side to the top side here, so he's at least safe with Amazing, and they don't lose too much, but gain a little bit together as well.
Yeah, the very common double jungling nowadays. And the reason that people are not pushing down these turrets very quickly anymore is because experience is a more important resource than pure gold right now. You do not get experience for taking outer turrets. You get the 650 gold for your team. It's spread out across your whole team, though. So it's not like a big boost in power for a single person. And if you do some simple math and just add up the creeps, it's 265 experience for every creep wave that you can deny at one of these turrets if you leave it up. So, and that's not even counting the turret minion or the cannon minions. So it's, if you can get a solo laner behind a couple levels, even just one level, then it really hurts their gold income for the rest of the game, because if they match up against somebody who's 2 levels above them, they're going to get bullied and they're going to get starved out for further income. So it's really all about investing in the future here.
Very interesting. Quas is going to have to stay safe here. He teleported back down to the turret. We saw this happen yesterday. If the top laner went back to that turret too quick, he would be ganked out and killed immediately. And Mundo, he's quite susceptible to that.
Oh. The wolves still haunting Dyrus
think he was gonna make
seasons later.
From IPL3, man.
He's always had problems with that camp.
Ouch. That is the exact same camp, too. Unfortunate.
All right, so the thing, though, that I do want to point out with Quas, he burned his teleport cooldown, but he was able to grab some experience from the minion wave. If you can ever scrounge up any experience in these 2v0 situations, then it's a good thing. However, it is dangerous. So we see some top laners trying to go for that gamble. And you get in there, you get maybe one wave, half a wave of experience, costs you your teleport, though, and you also always have to be worried about those dives, especially this early on with the double jungle still active. They could collapse on you at any time.
Quas has got nothing. I feel bad for him right now, but pretty much none of the junglers do. You can see TSM trying to get back on their top side of the jungle. Quas may have wolves coming in with Dominate as he gets back, but top laners right now in this situation, really tough, and it does force them into a play mode of patience.
Yeah,
complete patience.
It's pretty funny because there's basically 4 junglers now at the start of every game. So counter jungling is even more effective.
Yeah.
Because there's 4 people looking to get these limited camps. If you can take away one of the camps, then it denies a lot from your opponents.
There they are, back down to the wolves. Go ahead and share that one. Ping's going out, making sure they know where all the wards are. That one was from Team Solomid, so they won't be going towards blue anytime soon, knowing that that would be a scene invade. Gleeb and Turtle, like you said, keeping these lanes nice and frozen so they can get as much CS as they want, and that lane is being won right now. 43-39, not too much on that win, and everybody's quite close. Quas did pick up a bit of CS, gold, and items, but it's not really going to be effective in any fights that they find soon.
The other thing here to note is that TSM have their wave controlled very well. It's all the way at their turret, so they can keep it here as long as they want. That entire lane of minions will constantly be denied to Curse, whereas Curse's wave already up in that top side, very close to TSM territory. So they're going to be forced to run that into the turret and start doing some damage to it.
Bjergsen maxing out that Q. First one to hit 6 in the game. Backs immediately. Goes ahead, picks up the ring, gets himself an amplifying tome. Do a little bit more damage and try to keep Voyboy at bay in the mid lane so he can't get any roaming on. Good damage here by Curse in the top lane. They're going to go ahead and get a first bit of gold if they decide to fully take this down. It looks again like they keep it up. Voyboy finding a bit of pressure with the ult up. He should be quite safe.
So what they want to do is soften up the turret so that they can take it when they need the influx of gold. However, they're leaving it up, not focusing it, so they can still deny minion waves to it, and they just leave the AD carry up there. Okay, they've decided they want to finish it. They get their gold in exchange for this dragon. TSM, though, will now be able to do something with that top wave, because I believe the way that Cop just left that top wave, it will actually shove into TSM territory. So TSM, they take the dragon, basically even on global gold,
right?
But that wave should be coming into their territory. So a little bit more safe of a map for TSM now, as Curse are going to have extra wards if they want to go for any moves on that top side.
That was quite a long run as well. I figured Curse might have stayed for the assist gold on the turret, but they don't get any of that. It only goes to Cop. Dominate Quas, still in the buddy system in the jungle. It looks like Dyrus is able to go off by himself now as he picks up a scepter. So he doesn't need any more help. He's going to quick get some white kills, and he'll finally get that lane pushing into him. Movement around the map for Xpecial, trying to get ward coverage on. It's something TSM used to do quite a bit around that dragon pit, so he's going to keep doing it for Curse.
And it looks like, since we didn't actually have vision of the wave, Cop did a good job. He left it pushing against them. So Dyrus just wants to get it into the turret as quickly as possible. so that he doesn't get denied by Quas. Both top laners would teleport up, but the dragon already down. So if they teleport down, it's going to be to a fight in this bottom lane, where we finally get to see our Xpecial versus Gleeb matchup in the 2 versus 2, where both AD carries have their early items here, but it's a pretty big lead for Turtle because of that way that they were controlling the wave and they didn't shove it so early. He's got an early Cutlass up to the BF sword here.
Like it. Trying to prep that lane, get a little bit of early damage on for anything the team wants to focus. Looks like they don't get as much as they would want there. Gleeb just off of level 6 as well, so they can't go too hard on that. Level 8 coming in for Bjergsen in the mid lane as he goes back, continues to take Wraiths. So this is even, you know, Amazing still trying to take the jungle as Dyrus was, but Bjergsen still wants that CS for himself.
And he's doing a pretty good job as well. It looks like he is going for an early arm guard too. Definitely the right choice against this team. Very AD heavy. Wants those defensive stats. He doesn't even have to turn it into the early Zanyas. He can leave it as an arm guard. It's just a very efficient AP and armor item. And it will definitely help him out in this early game against Yasuo and Kha'Zix.
It's going to be good late game for somebody when they get that heal as well. See if Bjergsen can get to that point. He's been doing well. They've been keeping their control on the blue buff as we were focusing. We've only had 2 come up so far, so there's definitely more to go. Gets that Seeker's Arm Guard and the Fiendish Codex into his pocket for Bjergsen in mid, and he's going to go ahead and return to just leveling that Q. Voyboy has not had the chance to roam. Usually he's the one that goes to bottom lane, picks up kind of a kill that is getting swept away and nobody was going to pick up, but no movement yet.
One of the big things about Soraka is that she shoves her waves very quickly. So it's hard for you to leave your lane. Actually, like it is Bjergsen who gets the early shove here. Time to roam, but he doesn't actually go anywhere. Might be clearing that ward out. Amazing definitely wants to work with Quas here. Only Ninja Tabi, so they could actually take him down. No Ignite with this combo, though.
The mixed damage would definitely be doing big stuff to Quas. Like you said, with that Tabi buy. Waiting on the Cocoon, hits it on that one. Doesn't really have a follow-up yet from Dyrus, and they're just going to get the ultimate blowing on that. That means aggression, though, in mid lane. Bjergsen throws down that armor. Dominate with the Kha'Zix pickup, and the Yasuo for Voyboy is that damage they were looking for to drop Soraka.
Level 7 Dominate coming in with the evolved ultimate on Kha'Zix. Great gank from the bottom side where Bjergsen has no vision.
Xpecial. Top in the bottom lane, they know something went on in the mid lane. They have the advantage here to pressure. That's where they have vision of the jungler now. They're happy to do what they want.
Yeah, Cop with the BF sword, he can win the trades. He doesn't have the sustain though after them, so he has to be careful about going for those. And he's done a good job so far. They actually caught right back up in CS. See how much of this wave they can actually deny under the turret, because this is where Turtle's going to get that that money back. They're trying to harass him down, but because of the early Cutlass, he's got the sustain, and he can play the longer lane phase here with Cop, even though he's got that damage-heavy build early BF.
Really great lanes coming out of each side here. Close in CS, close in the kills. I guess the close is 1-0, but the assists 1-0 in turrets, so Curse is trying to get a second one here with pressure as they go back to the mid lane and dominate.
I also want to point out that Voyboy has gotten the Avarice Blade part of his static Shiv so that he can increase his gold income for this mid game where he's just farming. As you said, he's not doing a lot of roaming right now. He's mostly farming in that mid lane, and so he's increased the gold generation that he'll have during this mid-game period before completing either the Shiv or the Blade of the Ruined Chain. A lot of times we'll see very early Blade completed so that you can get the cooldown reduction on your Q, since it scales with attack speed and not actual cooldown reduction.
They're really giving a lot of consideration on the side of Voyboy. 2 pink wards towards Wildturtle so they don't get any roam up towards the top side. He decides to back here. They also put one down towards the bottom lane, so Amazing's going to help get a push. Turtle, I believe, will decide to go back down to that bottom lane, so they don't try to push the turret too hard. Voyboy's flow, keeping him pretty safe in that lane. Starcall not doing too much.
Yeah, the other thing keeping them very safe is the deep ward coverage. You have to commend Curse right now. They're doing a great job at controlling this map. They've got deep wards in both sides of the jungle, as well as the double pink bottom side here for Voyboy to rely on. You can hug that bottom side and be aware of even the Twitch assassinations if he comes to the river. Only thing he has to worry about is a Twitch coming straight up from the lane. Looks like we haven't seen a movement from Turtle to go for an assassination yet, even though he just completed Blade of the Ruined King. Trying to defend this dragon. Both top laners could join, by the way. Could turn into that 5-on-5.
Trying to get a little extra damage out. No movement coming in from the top lanes. Quas not going to be able to stop anything, and Dyrus feels like he needs to get out and help the fight, so they have to be very careful about where they back, or at least Quas does. Or teleport, I should say. 800 gold lead for Curse. They go ahead. They're going to pick up some buffs. That'll go straight to Dominate. No need for Voyboy to grab that, but he himself also picking up raids. You can see he's now gained that CS lead back in the middle, even though he's not been able to roam and get kills to help that gold.
And that is going to be the signal to start off this dragon. 3 pink wards laid down here. This is a perfect spot for spray and pray, though, or Rat-a-tat, especially with Blade already completed.
And that Stranglethorn to go down. Watch out from Gleeb. He throws out the Grasping Roots. Box goes down from Xpecial. Stranglethorn's not going to really hit anybody. Dyrus to the backside. Rat-a-tat coming through very big. Voyboy and the rest of the team now trying to come in. Quas has to teleport, but Dyrus made it earlier. They're able to get that starting damage on. Can Voyboy get the carry back on his shoulders? No, it's going to be the damage coming in big from the volatile Spiderling on the hands of Amazing, and they chase Quas out of the fight.
So, Voyboy does get the burst kill because Wildturtle gets a little too close, but the sustained damage from Soraka and the heals, and the longer the team fight goes, Bjergsen does come out ahead, and TSM. All right, so let's see here. Xpecial misses the hook, gets knocked up there, and then Dyrus just jumps right down on him. Dominate, he did get the dragon first, but he does end up going down. And right now, Cop flashes over. What does Amazing do? Oh, he lets him go. Okay. So it is just ends up as the
pick and choose.
2.
And a good dragon grab. You can't do that stuff around Dominate. We saw a team yesterday just backing off of Dragon because so many good smiters now in North America. You got to be wary if you're trying to go for objectives.
That little fight there.
Yeah.
I just brought it back pretty much dead even here between the teams.
TSM able to grab a turret after that one really helped to open up the map, especially the middle one. They'll be able to now get more forward wards in. Curse was getting those forward wards in without having the turrets down, so a little bit safer for TSM to start.
Bjergsen stacking so much armor right now.
Wow.
He's not only is he not completing the Zanya's Hourglass, but he's stacking every source of armor that you can go after right now, pretty much. And he's going to rely on all the heals to make use of that armor. He's his own heal, as well as the summoner heal, and his ulti.
People to sustain themselves as well. This team composition's coming together really well. Blade of the Ruined King on 2. Cooldown boots for Amazing to be in and out and keep dealing damage in these fights with the cooldowns. Let's see how they keep using it. Right now they know they don't need to fight. They're just letting Curse kind of push up until they make a mistake. Nobody really has a huge advantage right now, and TSM doesn't exactly have an initiation of their own. They kind of got to wait for things like this to happen. Ooh. Trying to get the minions so they do not follow into the jungle. They'll be safe for now. Looks like they just kind of push the mid lane. 2v2 in the mid. The side lanes are doing what they can to keep safe.
It is going to be very hard for Curse to take down Bjergsen here, especially if he gets some more HP too. Yes, he can rely on heals with this armor,
right?
But once you get the Rylai's plus this heavy armor build, it's going to be ridiculous. Very difficult for them to deal with. He's got a lot of cooldown reduction right now as well with this build, so he gets more heals off within the fight.
Yep.
They can group up again. TSM have a pretty good shot. They do trade turrets, and it stays even.
Frozen Heart now affecting 3 members, every member that it comes in contact with, but really the Dominate, Voyboy, and Cop not going to have fun with that Frozen Heart. Turtle almost getting hit up for a few bits of damage. Dominate jumps himself out. They don't want anything to do with that. But Curse makes a move. TSM, no response on that one.
Yeah, all outer turrets down for both teams here. So the map has opened up. This is time for assassins like Turtle to shine there with Twitch. If he's able to catch anybody out right now, he can ambush them fairly effectively. Cop in the bottom lane might be his target. Cop, though, right now, no summoners. So he's going to have to play more defensively, and he does back off.
Bjergsen 2 wards out to keep himself safe. He's actually farming quite far up in that lane, but he's got all the vision around him he needs. Heals up, flashes up, so he can get away if he needs to. Still star calling the heck out of these lanes and pushing away. Amazing to his own red is TSM, not really looking to formulate anything just yet. We got a minute and a half on Dragon. Nobody wants to be blowing ultimates right now.
He does walk right into Dominate, and he's going to have amazing save him here.
He heals in. See Xpecial with the roam coming up the top. Gleeb is actually coming up behind. If they can fit them into that pocket, give them some false reassurance here. Bjergsen takes one down. Gleeb is making it in time and forces the flash from Xpecial. The cocoon hits. The follow-up damage is there. And Bjergsen's tank build coming into play huge with the help of the rest of this
Early
team.
armor and cooldown reduction. Also, because that hook just barely missed.
Yeah.
The hook might have been
dodging all
the
those.
difference right there. But yes, Soraka able to sustain through the initial fight right there. And you can't stick around under the Star Call for long because it lowers magic resist for both Elise and Zyra, one of the highest damage supports. So they actually brought a lot of DPS to that 3-man fight in mid.
Let's see how this one goes down toe-to-toe. We got Blade of the Rune King versus Sunfire Cape. A little bit of health regen there coming from Quas' ultimate, but he is getting chewed up by the dragon.
Whoa.
Dyrus goes in. Looks like he just wanted to push him off of that.
Well,
one
he's trying to bait him.
Fight.
He's trying to bait him for his teammates to come up here because Amazing, as well as
They were
Gleeb,
close.
heading through the jungle. Quas did not take that bait though.
Good wards, keeping him safe. 20 seconds on Dragon, so they actually did go quite hard. Curse wanted to get the upper hand, in which Bjergsen turned right around and flipped that table. They're going to be heading back out. Blue buff is up. Might grab that, get some vision on Dragon, set it up.
Dyrus is doing extremely well in that matchup there, top lane too. Having completed Blade of the Rune King, moving right into Sunfire King to be that main tank. However, they are out of position for Dragon. Just going to give that up and shove towards that inhibitor turret. They don't have a minion line though, so Curse can actually get in position to actually flank them.
That armor's not helping too much against
what
the
about
damage! Oh my god, the Stranglethorn only getting Xpecial, but that's the initiation. This is going to be big if Voyboy can get a great knockup, but right now, he is the pure focus. TSM is beautifully focusing on whoever they need, whenever they need, and that was a nice 3 kill.
Those are the jungle avenues I was talking about in Champion Select.
Absolutely correct.
Gleeb takes a really good shot right there. Taking the initiative, starting it up with Zyra, and having people in the pathways for Twitch as well just means TSM annihilates Curse as they try and rotate from Dragon up to the mid lane, and TSM wastes no time. This should be their Baron. What a job from Gleeb, and Amazing follows it up with a cocoon as well.
Oh,
taking out
spray.
Xpecial first. Then Turtle's able to come in and clean up here. Beautiful job. There's nothing that Curse can do. They're locked into a team fight, trapped with a Soraka on the other side.
Oh no! Oh, he flashed away enough! No way! Stays alive! The venomous poison! Oh, he stays alive as well! Gets a potion going. These guys are getting away with a sliver of health, and Curse needs to rethink before they go back in this time.
This is out of control right now. TSM just got a ridiculous lead. And they already had a pretty commanding lead in teamfights straight up. So Curse not being able to pick anybody off here, also not being able to move quick enough over to the objectives, definitely paying the price. Now they have to deal with the Baron buff on top of everything.
Bjergsen, before even finishing that Zanya's as well, goes for Alacrity Tabis to give himself more movement speed. Definitely focusing on being able to continue just being in the fight.
Yeah, so the thing is, early Frozen Heart is strong. However, the range of the aura is actually really short, only 600. So he does need to be able to move close to take advantage of both his Frozen Heart aura as well as the Star Call. You want to be able to get in there and hit everybody with it.
Oh, Voyboy going in. He might have found himself in a tight situation here. Beautiful wall. Save himself. Got to use Flash, but he gets out versus 3. We'll see what they can do. The Morello Namicon actually being fixed up by Bjergsen instead of that Zanya's. He knows he's just not going to die. If they want to focus him, he's going to live through that with a heal.
It's more cooldown reduction, and it's guaranteed Grievous Wounds onto Mundo. Because he's constantly going to be spamming his spells. So really good pickup right there. He gets 2 for 1 with that item. And as we said, not only does the heal not remove Grievous Wounds from Soraka, but Quas, he can't get Cop to remove his Grievous Wounds for him either. The fight over the Golem, Dyrus takes it.
Baron buff slowly being used by Team Solomid. It seems like they are playing this one very safe. They still know what they want to do, but they're not moving on it too quick. In the bottom lane, a little breathing room from Cop's culling being used. And it looks like they will buy themselves a little bit of time. This causes TSM to roam around, and they're going to be seen by Vision now. Yeah,
TSM, they do definitely have a big upper hand, but they need to actually force something. It's hard.
This is that no initiation.
It's hard to force. See, they've taken everything on the map, but again, it's the Twitch team, so you always have to be careful just standing outside of a turret. Really, they're trying to manipulate the side waves so that they get damage on a turret uncontested, or at least split up with a team.
And they've got amazing breadcrumb wards behind them, so they can escape if they need to.
Two-man squad up top, though. Getting chased down here by Curse.
They're getting a lot of pressure on this. Voyboy just tried to do this previously. Only the Starfalls are coming out. There's one heal. Bjergsen gets the extra armor on. Looking to throw the Wish down. Is still holding that one. The heal and the flash. He goes down. Dyrus looks for one more bite. Burnout with the flash. Flame Breath actually could have been used backwards. Unfortunate that he actually got the kill quicker than he did. But for Curse, that's good. They want to try to stop the bleeding here.
Amazing wants to answer, though. 2 for 2.
The bleeding cannot be stopped.
Going in for the assassination. Doesn't get anything out of Cop. Good dash.
Turtle always keeping himself in a position where he can get a kill or be killed. That means it's always danger, and usually he comes up big on it. 2-1-3 right now. Doing pretty good for the team. Only 5 CS up, but amazing now with Gleeb in the top lane. TSM is kind of giving Curse the runaround on map pressure right now, and Curse is playing that reactive game where they got to be ahead.
It's really hard for them right now because, yes, Yasuo can bring his own armor penetration to the fight after he ultis, but everybody else needs a last whisper because their team is so attack damage based that all of TSM just bringing up armor right here. They have 2 Randuins and a Frozen Heart already, and the last whispers have not been completed, so that's why it's taken so long for Curse to kill people, even in 3-on-2 situations. TSM right now, they have this window before the last whispers come in where they can just steamroll over Curse. They need to take advantage of it, though, because they're building towards the last whispers. You see all those pickaxes. Everybody's looking towards it.
It's going to hurt quite soon, especially once Yasuo gets in there, does a little bit more, and everybody can follow up. Dominate's still looking to zero somebody out in this one. Turtle's still very killable. He hasn't been getting a ton of money in this game, so he's not onto any defensive items yet. And if Curse can get to that back line, they may have a chance to keep things going here. Yeah.
The thing about this TSM team, it does make it pretty easy for Turtle because they have so much area control. Dyrus can jump people back,
get slowed by
and Gleeb has a large amount of zone control with his ultimate and as the Well-the Grasping Roots, but also Bjergsen the entire time, walking around slowing people's attack speed, and pretty soon he'll be slowing their movement speed as well. Working towards that Rylai's Crystal Scepter. He has got the health to back up his armor now. It's becoming a ridiculously hard champion to take down for this first team.
Definitely like seeing the Zyra play. Oh man, the Stranglethorn acting a lot like the Soul Shackle, and that's something Morgana was banned out against Gleeb. So he picks another zoning style, crowd control style support. Comes out better with it this time. It seems like TSM has definitely done a little talking.
It definitely helped him out
today.
He actually was even able to use it better than Morgana would that jungle engage over the wall. Very strong stuff from Gleeb so far. He's showing up pretty big for TSM.
Amazing, looking to get a little head on what's going on above. Team sees that it is safe, and they know they're going to meet up with Curse as they get onto the front steps here. We got a minute left onto Baron, something TSM will definitely be able to force Curse into a bad situation on. Right now, it's just going to be cleanup in the base.
That's actually a really good point. They do want to draw Curse away from their base. They want to get them out in the open where they can have extended team fights. Yes, they've got this huge upper hand with all this zone control and this Soraka that's continually raining down magic resist debuffs and damage. However, they don't want to be doing that fight by turrets. So they want to draw out Curse into the map where they can have a huge advantage.
It's working a little bit. They're actually allowing Curse, as you can see, to get these waves pushed up. TSM will be able to say, all right, you know, come out for your experience. Come out for what you want. 15 seconds on Baron, you're going to need to come out for that. But then again, we said TSM doesn't have too much of their own engage. So once they do get up to these turrets, it's just been cleared out.
Yeah. The thing is, because they're against this attack damage heavy team, they're all building armor. That's what you need for diving turrets as well. So they're going to get to that turret diving point pretty quickly. Since they're already building that defensive stat anyway, you can't wait too long. Oh, Turtle gets hooked in!
No, that is not what you wanted! Beautiful hit by Xpecial. The team starts to clean up. Amazing. Oh, a little short hop by Dominate, but the team should be able to follow up over the wall towards Cop. Another hook from
just
Xpecial.
like that, the perfect situation. Curse could not have asked for a better pick. Taking out Turtle at the beginning and grabbing 2 more points, that is just gift wrapped to Curse right there. TSM with a huge mistake. It gives up Baron, it gives up all the pressure that they had on the map. Curse get a new breath of life.
Turtle knowing what it feels like to be on the other end of that hook. And a big play. He is invisible right now.
They know there's a pink ward there. Boom. Amazing is literally trying to kill that pink ward as Turtle walks up. He should be aware there's that pink ward there. We saw this even yesterday. Twitch walking through pink wards. It was Robert Exley yesterday. Today it's Turtle. You really have to be careful. There's this false sense of confidence that you get on champions like Evelyn, like Twitch, where you're just so used to roaming around with nobody knowing what you're doing. Towards the end game especially, you really have to be cautious because small mistakes like that will get your opponents right back into the game.
Very definitive play there from Curse. They wanted something. Yeah, we said TSM wanted them out of the base, and they gave it right to them. Thinking back historically in these games, Curse does not have a good record versus TSM. So for this to happen in a portion of the game where Curse can actually start to come back is huge. Because once Curse has been behind versus TSM, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, and Curse actually did a pretty good showing yesterday of trying to come back. They almost did yesterday.
Right.
Now they're getting another taste. They've got renewed vigor, and they're shoving straight up this mid lane. They want to make use of this Baron buff while it lasts, because that can sort of make up this gold difference that they're trying to deal with. However, sustained battles still, even with Baron buff regen, TSM have the Soraka with blue buff. So sustained battles, not too difficult for TSM. And they can easily just wave clear this. Very, very hard situation for Curse right now because everything else has been taken off the map. They don't have options right now. They could try and split push maybe, get 2 lanes going in their favor.
Yeah.
But they're really making very, very slow headway on this turret.
TSM has been to their own wave clear here to keep him off the turret. Not too many shots able to come in. Cop not really in range to get hits to the turret, but when he does, you can see Amazing trying to get there for the cocoon. Very, very close play and a lot of free damage being taken right now.
Yeah, and even with a Mundo, you have to be extremely hesitant to go for a dive versus a Zyra team. Zyra, the queen of disengage under turrets. It's very, very, very difficult to tower dive a Zyra with so much lockup. She can CC literally your entire team under the turret.
So looking at how much damage has happened, this wave should be down to about 25% on the turret if they can get to it. Cop's not really in range for that. A few more shots, they should be able to get it on this next wave if they commit enough. But like you said, that armor, everything they have working against Curse right now, they're toying with fire here in front of this turret.
They're wearing it down though, slowly but surely. Every Trinity Force empowered double shot from Cop counts when trying to take down this.
There we go. Setup from Voyboy. Just needed a little more ground. TSM knew it. You can see how they were playing sensible. 18 seconds on Dragon.
They've got both sideways pushing too, so they actually don't even have to split right now. They can get a 5 versus 4 on this bottom lane. Teleport is up for Dyrus though, so they still have to be careful about the diving, but they should probably be able to wear this turret down again. And they'll even have more pressure since Dyrus doesn't want to burn his teleport just for an outer turret.
It's one heck of a wave. They got a backup after that as well. Volatile Spider not actually getting any damage to the wave. The clear here is coming from Bjergsen. If Gleeb can get a good Q out as well, this turret could go down if Cop's in range.
So Curse are going to try and pressure until they see a rat attack come out. As soon as Turtle pops his ulti, that's when Curse just back off, and they need to wait out that cooldown. They can't afford to go into this inhibitor turret with that. And with Baron buff about to run out, they try and retreat back to the map for some safe gold.
No one saw it.
Yeah, nobody.
It went under the wing. It was close. Dragon going over to Curse. They made a big move just now, Kobe. The last 5 minutes has been Curse's 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes given to them by Wildturtle.
Yeah, absolutely. That grab by Wraiths has conducted everything we've seen so far. A huge surge in gold. Curse really hasn't even had the chance to back, so we still have to see what goes into those inventories.
They're definitely going to want some arm penetration. Last Whisper onto Dominate was huge. Also one onto Cop.
Yeah.
So now they have multiple answers. It's not just Voyboy. They've actually
Giants, Negatrons,
they've actually
armor.
closed that window that where TSM were really running over them with the early armor stack. Now that they do have penetration, the fights become much, much more even, and they really depend on positioning. Because both of these teams have been just running into each other. These are just 2 5-on-5 teams. And it really just depends on your individual mechanics for positioning for the beginning of the game. Wildturtle cannot afford to walk by another pink board.
Voyboy one piece away from finishing that Guardian Angel. Xpecial.
Knock up.
Dyrus very close. They don't have any displacement right now. Gleeb tries to get himself up front. They pull out the culling from Cop. He'll be able to get at least some experience out of that. A very chaotic start to this fight right now. Everybody's running back and forth, and it looks like they will stop for just a moment, but they're still staring each other dead in the eyes.
They are trying to take advantage of those cooldowns. As soon as you see Gleeb throw out his combo, they engage.
I don't know about that grab. I don't know about that. There goes the Stranglethorns. Wild, it's so good going down. Able to get the grasping roots as well. Coming down amazing, trying to finish off the kill on the Voyboy, but it's going to be the spray and pray coming through. Quas has 3 on him. They're trying to fight their own battles. Right now, Dyrus is in a 2v1. He's going to try and get one last fight, keeping himself safe. Help from Amazing. Dyrus turns around and gets himself some more HP from the Blade of the Rune King, and it's a double kill from him as he goes off.
Turtle makes up for everything right there. Late game Twitch in the 5-on-5 situation. Not even able to pressure him enough to make him blow his heal or his flash.
Gonna get some chomps down onto this turret. Shouldn't be too bad. Turtle's able to get there. Amazing. Get the tank onto that one. Gotta watch the little Spideys. He's gonna be still... Nope, they got minions. I was gonna say, somebody's still taking it. The Spiderlings don't fall before you now.
Yep, they should be able to get this inhibitor.
They'll be able to get that. Low health, but they're all right. Making their way out with an inhibitor.
Well, they need to be careful, though. They need to get back to the base to heal because Baron's about to come up. They have pressure. They have pressure over the whole map. This perfect situation for them. All the lanes are pushing, and they just got the inhibitor down. Now, Xpecial, yeah, he lands the hook at the beginning, but Gleeb answers immediately, getting a lot of pressure back in their situation. And watch, Yasuo and Dominate both go to take out the Soraka, which, to be fair, is a very high priority target in a 5-on-5 team fight like this. But because they target Soraka, and they try and get the Star Call spam out of the way and the Frozen Heart out of the way, it leaves Turtle up the whole time. He's just melting that back line.
Everybody lined up against that wall.
Yeah, since they're able to melt that back line with a free attacking AD carry so quickly, it let Dyrus just jump back. He got right in Cop's space and took him out of the fight.
You know, Twitch has been back for quite some times in his play, but people are still forgetting that lineup in the fight. Against the Lucian, you're hitting the first dude. That Twitch just kind of tore through the fight. We got to remember what's coming in with Wildturtle, or anybody comes in with Twitch, spray and pray, or rat-a-tat-tat, I should say. Coming up huge.
Yeah.
37 minutes on this one. 5,000 gold lead coming in for Team Solomid now as they start to take control of the game. The inhibitor being down in mid, especially big. They can start to pour to the side lanes now after they get done with what they have planned at Baron.
Yeah, they really need to work on that control around Baron because this is where the game is going to be decided. They've already given it away once. Curse no, and this is the last-ditch effort here.
I like it. Very nicely played. Teleport to the ward. Can't be taken down. They're trying to keep Baron at its current HP, but it looks like he will start to regen. A little too much pressure here from the sidelines for Curse.
Now, TSM are extremely dangerous right now because they do have those 2 targets that are extremely high priority, both the Soraka and the Twitch. You can't leave either of those up for long in a 5v5. And Curse really need to pick somebody off.
Bjergsen, can he get the heal down? He does get it. He's got the extra armor. Not throwing out Chris just yet. Turtle's in the backside, very, very low. Dominate, Curse, and everybody else is on him. They're going to be taking down Bjergsen now. Focus onto Dyrus. He's again finding himself in a fight where he is outnumbered, and Bjergsen running for the hills too.
The focus makes all the difference there. This time around, they are able to get position on Turtle. Not only did they kill him, but they also burned his flash and his heal. So those summoners will be down for the next fight. Curse, however, are splitting. They're going a little bit greedy here, going for the Baron because there's no vision from TSM. They actually get the Baron after that one team fight.
Wow.
Another huge step for Curse's comeback.
Beautiful play there. Xpecial hitting the hook he needed to that time. They pull in Bjergsen and get the late heal on him, putting a good front end bit of damage down. 45 seconds.
So here, even though Bjergsen's in the front, they don't make the same mistake twice. Yes, Xpecial got everything on him. They got him to half, but Cop comes in from the side. This is pretty much all Cop, okay? He takes Turtle down to half, forces out the summoners, and comes back into culling. This time, it's Curse who have the free auto-attacking AD carry. They take out Turtle at the beginning. Really good adaptation from the first lost team fight there for Curse to turn this team fight around. And amazing positioning from Cop, coming in from the side, flanking on Turtle, and taking him down to half right at the beginning.
Curse getting their own surge of gold now. Once again, TSM back and forth with this game. 15-11 now, 40 minutes in. Curse going to pick up this dragon. It is now worth maximum amount, almost as much as Baron. And you can see that that gold lead is just about 600 now.
And they've shown they've got the means to take out Twitch now. This will also be, as I said, a summoner-less Twitch for the next team fight. So it will be even easier. Now, Voyboy and Dominate have the full confidence to go charging straight in to take out Turtle first.
So with actually how strong Curse has been in these fights, can TSM do the norm and kind of force a fight at this middle inhibitor now?
They really, really, really need to watch their positioning because it's been twice. If Turtle's in any sort of compromising spot, then they are going to lose the team fight. So really the best option for them is to defend at their turrets, because when you're at a turret, that's the safest spot for Twitch. Because at least when Dominate and Voyboy dive in, they will have to deal with your defensive structures, and they'll have to deal with your come all the way through your front line of Soraka and Shyvana that's going to be trying to knock them back. Really, you can't knock back Voyboy because he'll get in there with his ultimate if they're able to land anything on you. But if Dyrus can use his Shyvana ulti to knock Dominate back out of the air, maybe out of his jump, then that would be really big. So Pink Ward vision is actually big on both teams because they want to be able to see Dominate, and they also want to be able to see Turtle here for the flip side for Curse.
Curse still has quite a bit of work to do to take down these inhibs. Talked a lot about Voyboy as he moved into the mid lane for Curse, and just in general, these past two games, he's shown and is showing the highest for the team. He's been playing really well.
And you know what? Bjergsen has actually just taken himself off of the list of possible early targets. Even if you wanted to go for that early, he's got his Zhonya's completed now as well. So that would be a definitely a huge mistake.
It's only getting harder and harder.
So they pretty much are forced into taking down Twitch first. That or Gleeb. I mean, we haven't really mentioned this, but Gleeb is a huge part of their damage as well. His CC combo is huge in swinging these fights. If Gleeb gets caught out before he's able to get anything off and they blow him up, that would as well be huge. So basically, it is the duo lane here for TSM that has to watch out.
Getting that wind wall up is the time that Cop can get himself in. Bit of wave clear that they do have only allows a few shots each time. Slow moving for both teams right now. Xpecial waiting for that hook. You can always see him standing on the front line, obviously, like any good Thresh, but he is looking to make those plays. His last grab on Dyrus cost them the fight, but the other grab on Bjergsen won it.
Yeah, I mean, when Xpecial throws out hooks, he has to stand still, and so it has lined him up easily for Gleeb to answer every time. But if they are able to get the priority target with that, then it will be worth it.
Priority caster minion.
Quas taking up turret hits.
For a wave on this
They've
one.
got it down to half here. The slow turret game here is working for Curse.
They have to know they're playing on the minds of TSM right now. The one good engage will definitely put them onto the Nexus turrets. We're 42 minutes into this game. Curse very far behind at one point, but have been able to pull themselves back into this one, splitting the defense with that death sentence. Dyrus, Quas getting very low here, trying to put on that Morellonomicon. Grievous wounds if they can keep going on this fight. There's not much chase. Ryla's Crystal Scepter is already worn off, and Curse is able to get themselves to safety, and they look for that pocket to re-engage.
They tried to take that inhibitor turret for so long that Baron buff ran out.
Yep.
They don't even have the regen advantage. And with
Totally
Upwave pushing, that was a successful defense for TSM. This game is dead even right now.
Well, they're still base side, so they don't have to do any particular backing that allows TSM to get this for free. But we will see. Summoner spells are down for Cop, at least one, but most are up. This could be a pretty good fight for both teams. They're going to go all out.
Yeah, Turtle does have his defensive summoners up, but he doesn't have his ulti. Huge part of their offense.
Wow, that's true. Quas trying to flex his muscles here up to the front line. Black Cleaver, Randuin's Last Whisper now finished up for Dominate. He's going to help shred for everybody if he can get a good shot of missiles out. 70.8 to 70.9, 44 minutes into the game here. Second day of Super Week. It's giving us a lot of good stuff. 119 on Baron, 120 on Dragon. It may not even have time to go back for this if these teams are going for what they look like. And Curse wants to win.
They return back to this turret. Now, inhibitor turrets do regenerate over time as well, very slowly. It's going to work its way back up there, and they don't want it to heal back to full.
They want Gleeb. You can see the focus. Xpecial's eyes on Gleeb there for the crowd control lockup. It would be much easier in that initiation if Voyboy could do what he needed to with Dominate in that assassination attempt. TSM again, slow push back outside the base, but it looks like they're pinched here. We'll see what happens if they can get the full close in on the ambush.
Look at this move here from Dominate, though. He's actually flanking around.
They all are.
Curse really have some interesting positioning. If they can come at TSM from multiple sides, then there's nowhere for Turtle to hide. They make Gleeb blow his ulti very early, then it's going to be a very dangerous game here for Turtle. He's already looking a little bit skittish here. Uses the ambush.
A lot of different communication going on. They choose exit stage left, make it out safely. They get a good wave up towards the top lane. And Turtle gets red.
Yeah.
See how this next fight goes.
The way that they want to fight against Zyra and Soraka is by spreading out the team. They don't want to get into one of those small circles. So they're trying to attack from multiple directions. Nobody's outside the base now here for Curse anymore, though.
That's a repel, though. He could still get himself up to safety.
He's fairly tanky as well for the tankier members.
Good shots. Quas on the outside. Very good positioning so he can throw on that ulti and just run into the fight with Burning Agony on. No displacement for Voyboy there. The culling goes out. The culling was the last thing when TSM won the fight. That's what they got out of Cop.
And that was a crucial flash from Gleeb. If Gleeb gets knocked up, he can get 100% to 0. And without that defensive ulti, it would be curtains for TSM.
This is some good poke and just push right now. The disengage from TSM. Voyboy flashes. He goes straight into the fight. The Stranglethorn goes down, but they're already on the other side. Quas is getting big damage to him. But can they make it? Turtle gets a few more shots. He throws down. No, the Hexdrinker comes on. Keeps himself alive as well for any extra damage of AP on the outside. And they keep going. Turtle finally going down to the end. Xpecial's going to get hit up. And somehow TSM kites the fight and pulls it out on top.
Gleeb with the very quick reactions. He was just spamming his ultimate and he got it off, buying enough time for Turtle to flash backwards, heal backwards, get off enough damage before finally going down. That TSM's damage over time. Look at Bjergsen's out of mana from spamming so much. They're able to actually finally win the team fight. It does give them an inhibitor. They can also rush for Baron right after this. Dominate has his smite available. Wow, they're just going to try and end it. 30 seconds here. 3-man team versus Dominate with double buffs.
Gonna be very
Soraka was out of mana before. She's got very little mana left. Will it be enough?
See what they can do. If they try to go on to Dominate, it's definitely gonna take longer than the 10 seconds to kill him. They get one Nexus turret. They're gaining so much control out of this. One death could be okay. One Nexus turret's gonna be enough. Bjergsen!
He bought time though.
Just at the last second.
He bought time.
They save the base. They may lose another inhibitor turret here as it goes down in bot.
Valiant effort there from Dominate. That Zhonya's that we mentioned before, though, does save Bjergsen in the end.
Wow.
Big pickups for TSM. A lot of global gold from the turrets, as well as another inhibitor down. So they have pressure while Baron's up. This is a perfect situation for TSM. Curse have to try and defend a Baron attempt with an inhibitor down and a jungler down. So their smite steal is not going to be there.
Xpecial looking for the hook. Only getting vision out now. Curse is in damage control mode.
You know, I expected to see more upgraded sweepers as well from actually both teams. They want to be able to keep track of Kha'Zix in team fights. They want to be able to keep track of Twitch.
Yep.
But yeah, so Curse with their jungler down, they don't even decide to try and defend it. Gonna go for the Alamo attempts defending their base versus the Baroned up TSM. But yeah, I don't know. Don't even see. Oh, there is one upgraded sweeper here. For
Yeah,
Gleeb.
the bottom lane. Yep, and on the
So
support for
you
Xpecial.
can look for Gleeb to use that in a team fight. Gleeb gets, as soon as Gleeb falls back down, he does have enough time to get off his ulti. So basically, it sections off a lot of the damage from Curse. Curse's backline damage gets cut off from the rest of the fight, and that's why it takes so long to take down Wildturtle. Rest of TSM actually able to clean up in that duration. The hook landed there. Just no more Thresh alive to take the ride.
See what Curse can do. As we said, damage control is going to be big on this one. They have to hit a perfect fight. Cop does still have heal up. That's more than Wild Turtle's going to have for this fight, but spray and pray is something Cop's going to need if Turtle's in good positioning. Dragon goes down. Baron still ticking away. 3 minutes left on that for Team Solomid, and I don't know if there's 3 minutes left in the game for Curse. It's going to be a very tough stop.
This is definitely going to be TSM looking for their final push. 2 inhibitors, well, soon to be 2 inhibitors versus Baroned up TSM. I don't know if Curse actually want to make the move to keep their second inhibitor going down, because once you get 2 lines of super minions, it's extremely difficult to defend with 1 Nexus turret. I think they might actually have to try and force just to keep up this inhibitor and not even fight with a turret.
Dyrus okay.
They only have 1 Nexus turret.
Yep. Minions pouring in behind them as well. That Nexus turret will eventually go down if the fight continues. A good wind wall stops the rest of the damage, but it's only a few more shots. Turtle's in. Dyrus gets it. They have to focus on the minions. TSM sets up for the battle.
Now they just have to wait. Super minion line here. Single Nexus turret, very weak. Easy for TSM to dive.
I was going to say, I don't know if they should go for that top one. It might be a little overzealous.
Yeah, the top ones are, the inhibitor turret actually stronger than a solo Nexus turret. So going for that Nexus at the moment with double super minions would actually even be easier. But they decide to swing around the outside, take everything from Curse.
Dyrus stays in the base, making sure he can cut off any of the entry or push somebody back.
Curse can't wait though. The minions are going to continually push in and destroy their base. They have to make their last-ditch effort.
Well, they did get mid up. It'll stop as one last wave coming through.
He got it on the Twitch!
Turtle gets hit up. I thought he was going to be close enough or really in range to get out. Gleeb's going to be the next one hit. This is what Curse was waiting for. Team Solomid's amazing and Dyrus are right in the fray. Bjergsen is trying to throw down the heals. He has the armor. Zanya's in, so the focus turns over to the base. Dominate goes down. Cop's going to get bit up. A beautiful slow. Quas is trying to stay in between them right now, but it's not going to be enough. Dyrus gets another chomp down. Dragon protecting his gold. And it looks like Xpecial is going to be forced to watch his old team take out his base.
And the last kill comes in. Ace for TSM. That's going to be the game. Even with the hook on the turtle at the beginning of the fight, TSM are just too far ahead and push Curse back.
A great takedown coming in here. Regular season 9-3 versus Curse. So they make it 10-3. So far they keep it as they did last split. They were 4-0. They get their first win here in the summer split. TSM takes out Curse.
Congratulating Turtle, even though he was the recipient of many a death sentence from his old lane partner. Xpecial definitely had some good things to say.
Best bait NA.
Oh, no! They don't get the hug. There's handshakes.
Handshakes. Indeed.
Still cordial, at least.
Absolutely. And looking at that game, it was a very good game of back and forth. But it has to be said that we can see that both of these teams still have a few, turmoil